What's going on, everyone? So reports have came out that Luka, who is currently injured with a calf injury, has no real timetable for return, according to head coach Jason Kidd. Now, this is something that he dealt with, and actually the injury happened during FIBA this past summer. And at the time, he said it's no big deal. You know, it might bother him, but he's going to play through it. It'll be fine. No big deal. Well, it looks like it is going to be a big deal. And Dallas, look, I've talked about this. I don't believe Dallas is anything more than, at best, a play-in team. Even if Luka was healthy. Could Kyrie and Luka be enough to maybe get you the 6th seed in the Western Conference? Possibly. But I don't believe that Dallas did enough this offseason to go and acquire the talent necessary and the pieces necessary to actually make Luka and Kyrie work, right? Like, you look at a team like the Phoenix Suns. Phoenix, I thought they did a great job filling out the rest of the roster. They don't have a bunch of like blue chip rotation guys that they got, but they have Bradley Beal, Devin Booker, and Kevin Durant, right? And it was like, well, what are the things that we need? We need, some size, you need some shooting, you need a couple just sizable wings that can defend and play multiple positions. We're at kind of a bit of a bargain bin here, but let's try to get the best that we can get. And I thought that Phoenix did an excellent job with that. Dallas, I felt like they were pursuing a bunch of, versatile but undersized guys that I don't really think solves a lot of like their bigger needs. I think they're going to be leaning heavily on their young big man and Lively. I don't look at Dallas and go, outside of Kyrie and Luka, they have a squad, right? I just look at them and go, okay, like they are in the Western Conference, at best, maybe the 6th seed. Right? Couple things fall their way, couple dominoes fall their way. Okay, maybe they're the 6th seed. But just off the top of the head, it's like you got Dallas, Phoenix, the Lakers, the Clippers, the Warriors, the Timberwolves, the Pelicans. That's 7 teams. OKC, I imagine, will be better. That's 8 teams right there, just off the cuff, that I believe are all better than Dallas is. Right? And Memphis, right? So there's 9. It's just, I don't look at Dallas and go, okay, like this is the team. And now if Luka misses any type of extended period of time, then Dallas is really in trouble. Now, there is so like last year, for example, right? When Dallas went and acquired Kyrie, right? I understood the thought process. Go get Luka, that other star. If it works, it might work great. Kyrie won a championship with LeBron James. Luka is in that sort of mold. Although Luka is a lot more ball dominant, right? He's a lot more on the ball more than like LeBron would be. But still, like maybe they can figure it out. Maybe they can make it work. And Kyrie's just an absolute wizard with the basketball and can just be a go-to closer and just scorer throughout the game and then at the end of games, right? But so last year was a little clunky, a little bit of a mess, but that is something that, you figure is going to take a little time to work out, right? But in the games where Kyrie played and Luka didn't, and even in the minutes where Kyrie played and Luka didn't, Dallas was actually better than with Luka. Now, again, they traded a lot of like pieces that made sense around Luka, a lot of defensive pieces too. And also Kyrie did a better job of just kind of divvying up the ball and not having the ball stick as much as it does with Luka. So I think that was a benefit for Dallas in that regard. But in general, right, like, can Kyrie kind of weather the storm and carry them with this squad? Which, look, in my opinion, if he does, like, that's ridiculous, right? Because I don't think Kyrie and Luka alone together could carry this squad to being like a legit thing. But it's early in the season. Teams are trying to figure things out. Maybe you could kind of make it work, right? Maybe Kyrie, because he can just kind of go out there and just play. And he has pieces that, maybe they'll elevate and step up a little bit. And again, the ball won't stick as much and make it kind of be a more fluid offense, right? that could be a possibility. But Kyrie and Luka still have a lot to figure out. They still have a lot to dive into, right? They still, even when Luka does get back, whenever he gets back, even if he gets back relatively quickly, right? Like, let's say he returns, let's say he misses like 2-3 games, right? And he comes back. I mean, you still have an uphill battle to climb in just trying to figure out how you're going to make this work and how, who's going to play who. And it's just, I'm not super sold that they're going to be able to figure it out as quickly as need be. And a lot of that, in my opinion, has to do with Luka. I just don't know if Luka is going to... He's played a specific way his entire career. And I'm not just talking about like with Dallas. I'm talking about like even with Madrid and stuff like that, right? Like he's always kind of been just this ball dominant player that is the offense. And I don't know if another star like Kyrie is the guy that makes sense. Like if it was Kevin Durant, I think it could work just because Kevin Durant is so efficient and is so good that like he doesn't need 20 shots a game to go get you 30 plus points, right? So, and he's played with guys that have handled the ball more, and he's just developed the ability to just play off the ball so well in such an efficient manner that if he was playing alongside like a Luka, right? Like Luka could dominate the ball and do his thing, and then KD, when he does get the ball, is efficient enough to kind of just ride out what needs to be written out, right? But I don't know if Kyrie can do that, right? Because Kyrie, again, he's a wizard. He can play off the ball, but not to the level of KD, and Kyrie is the wizard with the basketball, right? So I don't know how well this is going to work and how balanced of an attack it's going to be with these two guys. I feel like it's going to be a lot of you go, I go, you go, I go. And if Luka was older, right, and had some experience and went through the grind and stuff like that and just came to that realization of like, okay, I need to change if I want to win in this league, then I think it would have a better chance of working. But I just think Luka is so young and he's gone to the Western Conference Finals playing the way he's played. He's had success. He's gotten to the point that he's gotten in his career playing the way that he's played. I just see him kind of looking at it as like, okay, like why would I change how I play? Not just that, it's my team. I'm going to do what I need to do. And, Kyrie's going to have to adapt to me type thing. All right. Again, I don't know for certain if that's exactly how it's going to go, but it is a real question. Right. And it is something that I think could end up being an issue and question of addressing as we move through the season. But like, even if like, unless Kyrie can really just keep things in order while Luka's out, then Luka's going to end up having to rush back. And it's like, does that calf injury continue to persist? And if it does he like in and out of the lineup all season, which means that makes it even harder to build continuity with Kyrie? And it's like, you're definitely not winning at that. I just like, I don't see this working, at least this year, right? I don't think Dallas got enough pieces and got pieces that made enough sense for Dallas to be really good and be one of the contending teams in the league. And then you're going to have Luka very likely dealing with a calf injury that was thought to not be serious, but now clearly is. And that's going to be an issue and a problem that is going to need to be addressed throughout the course of the season. I just feel like there's too many things stacking up. And if it was like the Eastern Conference, right? Not saying that there aren't good teams in the East, but it's not as like jam-packed as the West. I do think that maybe they could weather the storm enough to make the playoffs, maybe make some noise a little bit, maybe surprise somebody, but I don't see it happening in the Western Conference. I just don't. I think that they're Like, they'll have their games, they'll have their moments. Like they might end up getting a big win on any given night. If they do make the playoffs, they could make things interesting just because Luka and Kyrie are that dynamic. But as far as them going anywhere and doing anything significant this year, I don't see it. But anyway, as always, this is a discussion, so I pass a question to you. Let me know your thoughts and opinions down in the comments below. What do you think? Do you agree with me? Do you disagree with me? Do you think they're cooked? Do you think no, they'll figure it out to make it work? How do you feel? Whatever your thoughts are, I'd love to hear it. So let me know down in the comments below.